If you are a teacher tired of calculating grades manually, this automated gradebook is for you. Spending your Sunday grading 30 essays sounds exhausting. On top of that, you need to calculate weighted averages, figure out who's failing, and prepare for next week's parent-teacher conferences. So what if we told you there's an easy way to handle all grading that's consuming your weekends? Meet the Automated Teacher Gradebook, made with Google Sheets. This amazing instrument tracks your students' averages and their performance during the semester. While creating this spreadsheet, we wanted something easy to use, easy to personalize, and almost fully automated. We minimized the risk of deleting formulas and made it user-friendly. This spreadsheet is very straightforward and has 5 main tabs. You don't need to be a Google Sheets expert to use it, you just need a free Gmail account. I'm going to show you every page, so by the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to use this spreadsheet to the fullest. To show you the ins and outs of this gradebook, I am using the filled version. When you purchase this product, you will receive this pre-filled spreadsheet as well as an empty one. You won't be able to edit this one, we included just as an example to show you how the formulas work. Now, let's begin our tour with the first page, the instructions. We add this page to every spreadsheet. It's a summary of this video with instructions and the template setup. If you don't need this page anymore, you can just hide it or delete it altogether. You can always use the one in the pre-filled version if necessary. Moving on, we have the settings page. Here you will add all of your personal details, like the school name, your name, and the class you teach. This is absolutely optional, but gives your spreadsheet a personal touch and tracks the period, the school year, and the semester you are grading. Then we have 2 tables. One includes the grading scale you use to evaluate your students, and the other tracks the assignment categories and weights. This information is already filled in the empty spreadsheet, but you can change it and customize it to your needs. And this is the only page where you can change these values. Every formula refers to these tables. So let's say you use different percentages to determine the C grade. You can go ahead and modify them here, and the gradebook will adapt accordingly. The same happens with the categories. You can change their names. Maybe you prefer to use the term exam instead of test. You can also change the weight. As you can see, if you change one weight, you must change the others as well, since the total must be 100. If the value differs, the cell will change color. And you need to fill in all 5 categories for the grading formulas to work. So, if you have different categories, let us know and we will create a custom solution for you, so definitely reach out. Once you are satisfied with the settings, you can move on to the roster page. We leave the dashboard for last since it's an overview of the next pages. The roster is completely customizable. You can change the column width by dragging them like this, or change the headers as you see fit, like parent contact instead of email and so forth. To fill this out, you can write all your students' name and their IDs. Then you will fill in the parents' contact information. You will probably have this information in your school students' information system like PowerSchool, Canvas, or Infinite Campus, or an existing Google Sheets roster. In this case, you can copy and paste names and other data directly into this tab without doing it manually. We also included a column for IEP and 504 accommodations to track students with special needs. That's also why we left space for your personal notes. Once you fill out the settings page and the roster, we recommend making a copy of the spreadsheet to avoid rewriting everything each new semester. Go to File and click Make a Copy. It will create a new spreadsheet you can name however you like, maybe including the grading period to avoid opening every new spreadsheet and checking the settings page. Always keep an original copy with your students' names and your settings prepared, and you'll avoid the annoying repetition of rewriting everything. Once you make your new copy, you can use that to fill the gradebook page. As you can see, all 5 categories are present exactly as you write them. To make this easier to read, it is color-coded. You can assign different colors if you have a favorite palette. As you can see, all of your students' names appear automatically with their IDs and eventual accommodations. Before you start grading, you might want to rename each assignment. You can do so by rewriting directly in the cell. Click on it and write the name you prefer. The name will also change above. Now, if you need more space for each assignment, you can add them yourself. Click on a center column and add another column to the right or to the left. The error message that appears is to avoid deleting formulas. But in this case, you are not deleting anything, so you can click on OK. You can then copy the formula above that gives you an average by copying and pasting that formula from one cell to the next. To avoid messing up the formatting, you can right-click on the cell and select Paste Special, then Formula Only. If this sounds difficult and you don't want to mess up the formulas, message us before filling the roster and we will customize this page to your needs. If you don't use all the columns, there's no problem at all. Leave the unused columns empty. Do not delete them since that will mess up the formulas. One last thing before you start grading. You can set a date for your assignment by double-clicking the cell below the name and picking a date. Or you can write it manually. Now it's time for the grades. Write them in the cell and watch the percentage and letters change as you go. You need to have a number in each section of the gradebook for a correct final score. That is why you must use all 5 categories. As you can see, the cell will change color based on the number you input. This is just a visual help that tells you which students are struggling, which ones are failing, and which are excelling. If you want to change the colors or the numbers, click one of the grading cells and then go to Format, then select Conditional Formatting. You will see the rules that apply to this table. Select one to change the formatting, the reference number, and customize the table as you see fit. Once you are done grading your students for the semester, you will see their final grade, letter grade, the GPA, and the status. All students whose final grade is F or D are considered at risk. A C earns them a warning status. The B and A mean that the students are on track. Pretty easy, right? Above, we also included the averages for each assignment and the total average for the category. There's also a final class average. Finally, you can see how many students are on track, how many received a warning status, and how many are at risk. If you try to edit cells containing formulas, you will see this error message, the same as when we were adding columns. Once it appears, click on Cancel or the X on top to undo any changes. But if you accidentally click OK and delete something important, just click Ctrl or Command plus Z to undo any mistakes. We can now go back to the dashboard. At the end of the semester, you can use this page as a visual overview of the spreadsheet's most important areas. This page is fully automated, and you cannot edit any of the colored cells. You are greeted by a welcome message and a calendar for the current month. Today is highlighted. You then have a class overview that shows your class average based on the final score, the number of students, and their status. You can also see how many assignments you graded. You can then see each category average and the students' grade distribution with a donut chart as a visual aid. We also included a table to keep track of at-risk students. This table will include all students who have received an F or D in their final examination. This automated view will save you time searching for the students who struggle the most and immediately show you their situation. And finally, we have a to-do list. This is the only area you can edit in this tab. Here you can write notes or anything important to remember. Once you complete a task, tick the checkbox and the progress bar above will update accordingly. Just like the gradebook, this page doesn't allow you to edit anything else. If you try, you will see the same error message. This will make it very difficult for you to erase any formulas by mistake. Okay, that was it. What do our teachers think of this automated gradebook? As a teacher, would you like to save yourself the hassle of losing your weekends over grading papers? We created this product to improve your productivity and help manage your workflow. But if you need something more to organize your entire school year, check out the Complete Teacher Planner in Notion. Thank you so much for watching and happy teaching!